Welcome, everybody. It's great to see you and Christine, and I'm here to, back you up and help you. First time a student has hosted a global class. So go ahead.
All right. Thanks, Lon. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Scott, we weren't sure if you were going to make it, but I'm sure glad that you were able to. I know with your dates and stuff, you were in California last week shooting a video. This week, you're in Alberta. You're traveling between Edmonton and Calgary, so thank you so much for taking the time. Zambia, it's awesome to see you guys. We've been looking at videos of you. We've seen a lot of your performance, and that's been great. Russia, it's awesome to have somebody so far away from us with such a different cultural experience to be able to join us on this. So again, thank you. So about around March 8th, Lon had decided that he was going to give out some bonus marks if somebody decided to do the global class. And I didn't really need the bonus marks, but I thought, hey, wouldn't it be nice to try to get 100% in this class? I don't know, overachiever maybe. So I decided I had just gotten back from Ireland. I had been there on a class trip with a lot of students from Durham College, and one of the things that we found while we were there is Celtic music. So it was something that I wasn't accustomed to. It wasn't something that I heard of, and just being in Ireland and hearing the different music from there, really, when I came back to Canada and Lon had suggested the global class, that's the whole reason I had come up with music as the idea, because music is universal regardless of what language you speak. Something that has a beat or a rhythm or harmony, it gets you moving, it gets you talking, it gets you dancing, it gets you singing. So it's very, very outgoing. So I just wanted to... I guess, do you guys want to take a few minutes just to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about why you're joining us today and what you're hoping to get out of the class and what you're hoping to learn?
Start with bare feet. Guys in Lusaka in Zambia, perhaps you could introduce yourselves and just tell us a little bit about why you've joined the class today and a little bit about Bare Feet Theatre. Please, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Felix Chani. I'm a performer and I'm a facilitator in Bare Feet. And recently I just started music and I've got 2 songs. So when I was told that it's going to be something about music on the global class, I became excited to join. Let's find out what goes on in this class.
That's great. Can you just come a little closer to the microphone when you speak so we could hear that, but for the next person, please just come a little closer to the microphone. Go ahead.
I'm Francis Chembewanza. The guys, they shared what they've been learning during the global class. So I was very eager to do this, want to know and learn what goes on. So I'm excited about this. I'm a performer, a dancer, a drummer as well.
Excellent. And who else? Go ahead.
Hey, my name is Pascal DJ, and I'm a trainee at Bare Feet Theatre, and I'm also a performer. So the reason why I really wanted to join the class today is I really love music, but unfortunately I can't sing, though I'm a very good listener, so I really want to know more about different types of music.
Great. St. Petersburg, Ina, and would you introduce yourselves a little bit in St. Petersburg? Just bring the microphone close and speak as loudly and we will hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead. What's your name?
And I'm interested. My name is Kirill, and I'm interested in this global class because music is the thing that always in our life we can see it everywhere. So speak about music is really interesting. Everyone loves his own style of music or something like that. So it's really interesting to know something.
Go ahead. One more introduction.
Hey
In St.
everyone,
Petersburg.
my name is from St. Petersburg. My name is Vanya, and I came here because I'm very interested in music. And what's more, I have a guitar and trying to make my own songs. So I'm really interested in talking with our guest. So I want to know more about music, how to make it, and just how to become a superstar like Scott Helman.
Okay, good. Go ahead, Christine. I think the connection's good. Yeah. Thanks. Superstar time. Well, you're becoming a superstar, right? Scott, not quite there, but you're coming. You're on your way. Yeah.
I'm on my
Go
way.
ahead.
I'm on my way.
Yeah.
So Scott,
Hi
you've been
everyone.
doing.
Sure.
Oh,
Go
sorry. Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, the floor is all yours.
Okay. Well, I'm Scott Helman. I'm a musician from Canada. I'm currently driving to Red Deer. We're going to Red Deer in Alberta, so I don't even know where we are right now. But I've been making music for about, I'd say professionally for about 4 years, and I'm interested in this call because I think that music is something that it's a language that all people can speak, and I think that's really important that we're able to connect through music. And I think without it, it would be a lot more difficult to have a conversation with certain people from certain places. So, yeah, I think it's going to be great.
Awesome.
Excellent.
So from there, we were going to.
Maybe what we'll do is we were talking about this before. Why don't we just keep the conversation going and we can show videos afterwards? Only because we only have Scott until for 30 minutes.
Okay.
So let's maximize our time, and then afterwards, when he leaves, we can show some of his videos and we can do some more. So let's just keep going with the interaction.
So Scott, you have been Much Music Video Awards. You were nominated. You were nominated for the Junos. How did that feel? Like you said, you've been doing this for 4 years, but I'm sure it's been a bit longer than that. You're just starting to get the recognition now for the music that you've been doing probably your whole life.
Yeah, it's funny. The funny thing about it is, I think Canadian music is so interesting because in Canada we have a very specific way of doing music because we fund music through the government, and there's just certain nuances in Canada when it comes to music. And the thing that I found so nice about being nominated for awards and stuff like that wasn't so much the recognition as an award getter. It was more being at award shows and meeting other Canadian musicians that, you know, I look up to and really appreciate, and being able to connect with them. And I think that's the really beautiful thing about Canadian music is we really, as you meet more musicians along the way, we really like to connect with each other, and I think that's a really important thing. So that's the biggest thing I've found at these award shows is the getting the ability to meet certain artists and stuff like that.
So is there an artist in particular that you're really super excited or to see or meet, or you couldn't, you know, you're like us, we had to hold our breath and, you know, not panic or anything?
I was a little nervous when I met The Weeknd, actually.
The Weeknd, really?
Yeah. He was walking out of the dressing room and he was holding his award, and he was really nice, but I was very nervous. So, but you know, it is nice. It's nice, you know, when you've been making music for about, like I said, 4 or 5 years professionally, and then you start to get recognition, and your record does well. It feels great. I will be honest, it does feel good. So.
Absolutely. My daughter actually wanted to be here. She's in co-op right now. She wanted to be here. She said, if he's just on the phone, I don't want to come, but if Scott Helman is on video, I wanted to be here. And I said, go to co-op. Don't worry about it. You can watch it later on the internet.
Right.
So she's
recording.
excited for
Cool.
that. Yeah. One of the other things that I read here is some of your fans are people like Shawn Mendes and who are some of the other ones that Ed Sheeran and some of the bigger names are actually very big fans of yours. How does that feel?
Feels good. I think also like I said, I met Shawn Mendes at an award show. I met him at the MMVAs, and we actually jammed and wrote a song together. And it's really nice. You meet these big superstars or whatever, and you're nervous because you see them so much, on the internet or on TV. But when you meet them, you get to really experience that person in their truth. He's a really nice guy, and it's nice having the support from other artists for sure. So that feels good.
Yeah. So I just want to put it over to Zambia and St. Petersburg. Were you guys able to watch Scott's video, and would you want to give him some feedback, or is that something?
Well, let's start with, and we'll go with one and then the other, just so there's no confusion. Let's start with Lusaka in Zambia at Bare Feet Theater, and then we'll go to St. Petersburg, and particularly I think it's Vanya. Is it Vanya who said that he has a guitar and is serious, or? But anyways, we'll get there. In Lusaka, do you have any questions for Scott? But first, were you able to see any of the material that was posted on the Global Cloud? His video, Bungalow, listen to any of his songs, The Lion, for example, The Sweater, other songs that he's done? Did you have a chance in Lusaka?
No, unfortunately, we didn't have a chance, but some of our guys who are having a performance did have a chance to see the videos, but they are not yet. They have a show somewhere.
Oh, they have a show somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have a show somewhere.
Why don't you go ahead? If you have any questions or anything you'd like to say, it's really your class and a chance to interact with Scott and with the students in St. Petersburg and students here with Christine. So go ahead and ask any questions you would like or a comment.
I would like to ask in terms of when we talk about music, like I can sing, yeah, but I can't go into a studio and start doing my own music, but I've got a very good listening ear for music. I can tell the moment the music is playing, I can tell this is good music, this is not. Go and do your music. But what I really want to know is what is good music? For me, sometimes I don't know if I get unfair to people. The lyrics can be very much okay, but sometimes the history won't be okay. Stop judging.
Come a little closer to the microphone. It's okay if your face fills the screen. That's okay, as long as you're close and we can because you're talking about something that's very important in this class, which is the power of music as a way of uniting human beings on this planet. So I'm sure Scott is interested and others. So just make sure you speak close to the microphone. Go ahead.
So I'll judge musicians or people that do music based on the instruments, the way their music is organized, the guitar, the drums, whatever. I'll judge them based on that. So I don't know. Like I really want to know. Should I go ahead and judge them based on the instruments, or I should follow the lyrics as well?
So just
Sure. Go
ahead.
Are you also? Go ahead.
Yeah, for me, so it's just my different comments on the question that I have. So for me, I think I
I'll find time to watch some of the materials that he posted, so that we can try to understand what he's doing in his music. Then my question is that, like I said, just joined the music industry recently. I just did 2 songs, and now I'm getting my third song. This third song, I was in the studio, and the producer was making a beat, and what I was singing chorus, and he was making it. But I never felt tired. I never felt connected to the beat. I never felt connected to the beat. So this has given me problems, like to even to go on write the verses, because I think I find motivation when I chorus, then I come up with it. When I take the chorus over and over, it leads me. So but this time around, I was given an instrument which I don't feel very connected. I'll just go on with this, something else. So I'm really stuck whether to go back to the producer and say I don't like this type of instrument, or come up with something else, or I have to adapt it.
So
Some advice from Scott?
yeah, I think he's looking for some advice from you, Scott. Have you ever had a producer take your music and do something you didn't like with it, and what do you do with that?
Sorry?
Oh, I can't.
Go. Oh, your audio, Scott, we can't hear you.
He's muted.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I could make out a little bit of the question, but so the question was, have I ever had a producer change something I don't want to be changed?
Your music,
Yeah.
yes. Change the way you wrote something, the way
Okay, keep.
Yes.
must be in a low spot.
Yeah, we might be hitting a Wi-Fi. Keep trying. Go ahead, Scott. Ooh, we might be at that point where we need just an audio. Scott may be driving into a bit of a Wi-Fi storm here. That is, yeah, okay. Hold on. I think what we should do, this is what I thought might happen. Scott, he can't hear us right now.
Oh.
Okay.
He's coming
in and out because you're traveling. Okay, let's try once more. Scott, can you try and answer the question? Go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, so I've definitely had that happen before, and I like to say this often, but I think a really important thing that I realized was there are certain things in your career that, as a musician or just generally as a person who loves music, that you're going to have to compromise, and there are certain things that you should decide to keep and you should decide to maintain. So there's definitely something to be said about being able to change and adapt when you're working with other artists, because that's what music is about. It's about maybe changing on something that you weren't going to change on, or becoming a different person through the experience of writing with other people and sharing music, because that's what we're all doing. Is we're all maybe learning something from someone else that we might not have known ourselves, and gaining knowledge and experience from that. But at the same time, you don't want to change too much because you want to keep your integrity and you want to be who you are. So I think it's kind of a balancing act, and you just have to. Very early in my career, I kind of wrote a list of elements of my music that I would like to keep, and elements of my music that I would be willing to change or adapt. And just hold on to that list.
Do you remember anything that was on your list, Scott? The things that you won't change, things that you...
I remember on things that I wouldn't change, some of them went over to the things I probably should have later on. But definitely being present throughout writing all my songs and being the director of the content that the lyrics were about, I always wanted to make sure that I'm willing to change aspects of the lyrics of a song, but when it comes to the intention and the meaning behind the song as a whole, I never really wanted to compromise too much on that. And I always wanted to be a massive part of the sound of how the music was, like the sound of the production. And I'm glad that I've been able to find people to work with that are willing to work with me and not for me, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Does that in Lusaka, and then we can come here as well. But does that make sense in terms of what Scott said in the balancing act and the learning from others in the process and the not compromising your core values, things like that? Does that make sense to you?
Well, yes, it does, but I'm still a bit puzzled because like when I'm in the studio, I don't know, maybe it's because I don't understand music very much, but I don't really know what type of instrument is gonna come out. So maybe I'll just go there and I'll do my thing, I'll sing. Then at the end of it, that's when I'll listen to the sound of the instrument that has been done. But really my question was, if what you are singing, you don't feel that the instrument or the beat is what is really connecting what you are singing, do you have to just go on and do in that instrument, or you can talk to the producer to say this instrument doesn't give me the feel? It's not connecting you.
Sure.
yeah. So the question is still sort of like, if the instrument has to, like, the music behind the lyrics have to be connected with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say some of my favorite songs or my favorite pieces of music are pieces of music where it might be really happy or might be really joyful or might be, but then the lyrics are, almost opposite to that, or they do something else. I think most important, or at least when I'm listening to music, or when my fans are listening to music, or other people's fans are listening to music, that people connect the best with music that represents the person that's making it the best. So if you're having fun and you're enjoying what you're doing, then I think that's really the most important thing. Because I think people really deep down just want to see other people doing what they believe in. So if you like it, then keep doing it. Does that make sense?
In the side, does that make sense? Yes. Let's keep going around and give other students a chance to also interact with you, Scott, and with each other. Let's try here in Oshawa, and then we'll come to St. Petersburg in a moment. So, is there anybody here who wants to say anything, or ask a question? Feel free. You don't have to, but anybody?
Sure.
Yeah, Majoran? Okay, Majoran, go ahead.
On the media, on news media, television, we hear stories of groups or artists or just solo artists going all over the world and having absolutely massive fan reactions. And I'd like to know if it doesn't necessarily have to be an international show, but I'd like to know how it feels when a fan who doesn't necessarily understand lyrics or necessarily completely connects with the lyrics, when they resonate with your music.
feels really good, and I think the way I kind of look at it is when I'm making music for me, and it's almost my own thing. But once I put music out into the world, it's not mine anymore. It's everybody else's, and I might have my own story behind a song, but once someone else listens to that song, it's their story that they can add to it, and they put their context to whatever music they listen to. So when a fan comes up to me and says, "Hey, I listened to Bungalow and I was going through a really rough time, and here's the specifics of what was happening to me at the time, and this song helped me for this and these reasons," it really is powerful, because I think that's why music is so beautiful, because like I said, it's the language we can all speak, and no matter where you are or what you're doing, if there's that song that you like, then it doesn't really matter what the person that wrote it was thinking about at the time, because it's yours. So yeah, it's really beautiful, and it's what keeps me going and what really motivates me to keep making music that I find to be universal. So, or at least hopefully is universal. I don't really know. We'll see.
All right.
Excellent. Well, we do have a question, by the way, just to remind everybody of the question that Christine came up with. Christine and I were brainstorming yesterday here in the Global Classroom to figure out exactly what the focus should be, and she came up with a great question, and I think, oh crap. Oh, they'll come back. Hold on. For the live stream, okay, Lusaka's with us, and there's also live stream viewers. Check and see. Let's at least pose the question. While we continue, okay, they'll come back. Scott's back, and then St. Petersburg will come back. Let's remind ourselves of a question that Christine came up with, which is, was that St. Petersburg in the background? Or?
Yeah. I think their video just kind of...
Brian, are you with us? Can you mute St. Petersburg on the bridge? He can do it. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so here's the question. Okay, let's just remind, because Scott is sort of leading us there, and then we can... The question, what is the question again? What's the question you came up with?
Can music change the world?
That's a good question.
Big one. Let's try it. Go for it, Scott.
It's a global class. That's what we're here to do, is question things and see if we can come up with some answers or some takeaways from the class.
Right, and then we'll go to Lusaka and see what they think in St. Petersburg.
Now, I know, Scott, that you have, and I've looked at your website on Solve the Solvable, which is very, very good. Yeah. So maybe we can touch on that a little bit with what you're doing there.
I have an idea called Solve the Solvable, and the idea behind it was that if everybody in the world decided to try to solve the problems that were immediately in front of them, the power of that would be overwhelming and would hopefully solve a lot of the problems that we find to be so much larger than ourselves. And I think in this day and age, because we have the internet and because we have such a global connection to everyone, sometimes the burden of the world's problems feels so heavy and almost unsolvable. And so I thought of treating that in the same my work, and that was just take it one step at a time. So that was sort of the idea, and it was like if we all took it one step at a time and just tried to solve what we could when we could, and do it, help your neighbor and help the people that are around you, that maybe that would do some good. So that was the idea.
No, it's a really good idea. I really like what you're doing there. That was very...
Where does... Okay, first of all, let me ask a harder question here. And since St. Petersburg is still... They're They'll come back. Don't worry. This is the adventure of a global class. Things come up and down sometimes. So, Scott, let me just ask, and then maybe you have some thoughts here too. In terms of solving overwhelming problems in a global world, in terms of even trying to make a difference, where does music fit into that?
Well, music is not only the reflection of each person, but I think it's also the reflection of the group of people that are listening to it. And I think the really beautiful thing about, especially live music, is, and I'll speak a little bit, especially the political climate in the world right now. There's so much disagreement, and there's so much, there's a lot of barriers and borders and disparities between people. A lot of lines are being drawn. I'll put it that way. And I think a really beautiful thing that I feel when I'm in a live show or I'm playing a live show is there's however many people in a room. Let's say there's 20,000 people in a stadium. Those 20,000 people on certain topics might all disagree with each other, but all of those people have come together to agree on one thing, and it's that they like this music. And that's a really beautiful thing because it's so simple. It always shows me and baffles me that we don't have to agree on everything, but music can be that thing that glues us together. And the cornerstone of any great movement, I'd say, not any great movement, but many great movements, there has been music that has allowed people to get together and to to experience that change together. And I think without that, it's very difficult because it's hard to get together on one thing if there isn't that glue. And I've always found music to be that glue. So that's why I actually have a glue bottle tattooed on the back of my arm, which is kind of homage.
No, let's see. Hold on. Are you pulling our leg or are you just pulling our arm? Oh, let's see.
No,
You're going to show it to us.
Now I gotta take off.
Oh, you're going to show us the glue? Okay, let's. If this is for real, here we go. Because this is This is what it's all about. Let's see it. Glue.
My daughter's missing this. She's getting undressed.
Getting undressed.
In St. Petersburg, just so you know, and of course in Lusaka, you heard this. Scott is about to show us a tattoo.
Can you see?
Wait a minute. Let's see
Can you
it.
see
Let's
it?
see it. Where's the glue box?
Wait, you see it?
Yeah.
Lovely, Scott. Lovely.
I think it's there. Is it there?
Yeah, we see it. Guys, let's just make sure in Lusaka, what did Scott just show us? Just make sure everybody saw what we saw, because they're, a long way away across an ocean and then down a continent in the southern part of Lusaka. What did you just see? What did Scott just show us? What did Scott just show us with his arm?
It was very clear.
We saw a tattoo for sure. Yeah, we saw it.
Oh, yeah.
Tattoo.
But
We couldn't see.
what was the tattoo?
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. That's why I need to ask. Hold on a second. Just sorry if I'm. In St. Petersburg, did you see a tattoo on Scott's arm? Yes?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we see.
Yeah.
And what was the tattoo of? What was, because that's the important part. What was the tattoo of?
I got bad view, but I think it's rabbit or something like that.
A rabbit? Not a rabbit, just a second. Hold on. This is very important. We got to, otherwise, this is what the class is all about. And Scott's got to go, but you're not going to go just yet, Scott. 2 minutes, okay? Hold on,
Good.
2 minutes. Good, okay. In Lusaka, try again. What was the tattoo of? What was the tattoo of? Like, what was the picture?
Well, like we'll say what we saw.
Yes.
We saw like 2 lines here.
Something that looks like a lab.
Yes. Okay, so we
For
need.
me, for me, I think I couldn't see clearly the whole part of the tattoo. So there were just some there.
Go for it, Scott. Hold it. Perfect. Okay, please, Scott, if you don't mind, hold that arm. I know it's not easy. Okay.
I didn't think I'd be doing this today. Showing my tattoos to people all around the world.
But there's one that really matters, and you've been really gutsy because this is very relevant. Do you see in St. Petersburg, do you see the glue bottle? The bottle of glue?
That's
yes.
the tattoo.
Yes.
Yes.
Lovely. Okay. So here's the question. In Lusaka, what does the glue bottle mean? Why did Scott show us the glue bottle on his arm?
Wow.
He was trying to communicate about how he uses music. Like it can be anything, you know, and it also matters with what you are trying to communicate to people. So he says something about like you can be in a stadium and you have a lot of people in it, but you try to communicate a message to it. Have people who disagree to read, but the only thing that you just have to stick to it. That's my understanding to it.
By the way, she's messy. Messy.
Yeah. Okay, lovely. In St. Petersburg, what is the meaning of the glue bottle?
I think it's like stick together.
Yeah.
Stick.
Well, that's it.
What's holding it all together? Is it politics? Is it sports? What's the glue that's holding this together?
Stick together.
Songs. Lovely. Okay, we got it. Thank you. Sorry, I just had to make sure we... Go ahead. Anybody want to add to the glue on Scott's?
Yeah.
I think,
No? Okay.
I think also it can be stick to your context, the type of music that you're doing, you stick to it. And if you think you're good in hip hop, you can stick to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just add on. For me, the glue is maybe it's trying to show us that it's glued to it's glued to what it's doing. Maybe it's the music.
I just really like arts and crafts.
It's great. Laura, there's a student here had a question. You want to know what St. Petersburg?
Yeah, I wanted to know what questions they had for Scott.
Okay, a student here, Laurel, has a question for St. Petersburg. Do you have any questions in St. Petersburg for Scott? She wanted to know, do you have any questions for Scott?
I will ask, what songs do you like and what kind of music do you prefer?
What music do I like? I like... Oh, is that my fault? Because my seatbelt's not on? Sorry.
Put your seatbelt on, Scott.
Boy, you need to, I had to undress, so that's why.
Yeah.
I like all types of music, and I've been all over the world, and when I travel, really try to listen to music from all different places. So I've been to Jamaica, I've been to Kenya, I've been all through Europe and in the United States, and I really try to listen to music from all over the world because, like I said, I think it's important that we appreciate different cultures and different music. But I like singer-songwriters the most. I really like Neil Young from Canada, Bob Dylan, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd. Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, wow.
So Scott, when you leave us, you're driving in a car. Usually that's the busiest time for music is on a car ride. Are you just going to be putting on a radio station, or is there something that you're going to be listening to on your phone?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But usually I like to. I sometimes I like to stay away from music for a bit so I can write. But yeah, I just like to put on the radio or listen to my iPod or something.
Okay, now I just want to because I'm watching the clock, so I have an eye on the clock. You don't. Now, Scott, just to be, I think you have to go, right? Because that was.
I do have to wrap it up.
Yeah, for sure. And so we're going to continue the class with Lusaka. We're going to continue with St. Petersburg. We're going to look at some of your work, Scott, as well. But Scott, I just want to thank you for taking the time, on your drive to join us.
No problem.
Really great to.
Thank you.
And is there anything you want to add as a final word?
Final thoughts. Wow, it's amazing what a little email can do these days.
Yeah.
It's the power of email.
That's right. It started with her idea to have you as a guest, and you accepted, Scott. So
yeah. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Great. All right. Good. Okay, so we'll see you again sometime. Yeah, in a class, hopefully in the future. Okay.
All right.
Good luck. All right.
Okay,
stay with us in Lusaka. Yeah. St. Petersburg, stay on the class. Stay in the class. Good. Okay. Good. Great.
That was cool.
Okay. Now.
Maybe we'll check later on YouTube to see the whole video. But it has, like, for me, it doesn't connect very much because it talks about, like, the second one that's just from playing, it's talking about the sweater when it's winter and we don't really have snow here. It's
right.
So
yeah, you don't have snow.
But I bet Russia has a different view on the sweater.
St. Petersburg has a lot of snow, and every time I talk to Ina, somebody always has the flu in St. Petersburg because it's so cold. So, could you guys relate to the sweater in St. Petersburg?
Yes, of course.
So lots of snow. So what about here? Can you connect to the music here? Like, do you find you can connect, or not?
It's going to take a couple more listens for me to connect.
Take a couple more listens.
Well, it's fun and upbeat. So, like, if you listen to it on the side, it's on the radio, you'll enjoy it. Yeah.
Gotta be moving. Yeah. It's fun.
It's fun.
It's just fun. It's just fun. Yeah, exactly. In terms of is there anything you want to ask? Are you all right? Okay. In Lusaka, what kind of music do you like?
We, like everyone here, we all like different types of music. Yeah, we love different types of music, depending with your touch. Maybe let me just react to the video and the song itself. The video wasn't very clear, but I think the music, like the rhythm, the way it was going, me being a performer, I think I could just relate to the instruments. Like, if you were to tell me dance to this, I'd come up with my own dance movements because I could relate with the instruments. But with the lyrics, like she said, I think you have some couple of time listen to it so that you can understand.
Я сейчас расскажу о том, что я люблю.
Did you agree with Scott? Did you agree with Scott that music is the glue that holds us, like that really keeps things kind of together? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay,
and then,
great.
Можно сказать нет?
Yeah, go ahead.
We have that kind of music here that plays a lot and we dance to it, but we try to connect it.
Потому что
sorry, can you come closer to the microphone and say that again? Can you repeat that? Just come closer to it.
I meant to say we have that kind of music that plays here and we get connected to it. Though sometimes some words and other lyrics, they don't connect to the way we live our life in Africa, but to the beats, the rhythm, we connect to it and dance to it.
Sure, absolutely. Are there any question? Okay, because but I don't want to ask any more questions, but I'm so interested. But anything you want to ask?
Well, I do have a question for Zambia. You guys do a lot of performing arts and stuff, and you guys, a lot of the people that are doing the performing arts are off of the street, correct?
Yeah.
So what do you do in terms of music? Like, do you guys obviously you have an internet connection and a computer, but what about if the kids want music? Like, do they just come in and listen to music? Are they making their own music? Like, what is happening there? Is there radio stations?
Yeah.
I've never been to Africa. Tell us about the music there.
So we have radio stations here, and we like people like these guys. They've got their music on their memory cards, on their phones. Even on this same computer that we are using, they've got their music here. So if people or young person want to listen to their music, they can easily access them, either by internet or go to the radio station or, yeah, music is all over on the internet. They can listen to any platform.
Can you tell me, can each of you, sorry, and then in Russia, I want to know what's your favorite songs right now? Like, what's the top 40 or, what's the most popular song going on right now? Either ones that are driving you crazy that you don't want to hear anymore, or ones that you can't get enough of and you just want to turn it up.
In St. Petersburg. That's for Russia, in St. Petersburg.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay, so now in our country it's really popular something like trash music or things like that. It's music that it's music that made by Russians, but not very popular compositors. And in one moment it comes very popular, but no one knows why. So in Russia, okay, and.
Keep going.
Okay. I have a bit another view of situation, and in my opinion, and I want to speak about teenagers, about yes, because I'm teenager, and in my opinion, Russian teenagers are interested in old music. For example. The Beatles, Rolling Stones, and something like this. Oh, that's cool. Okay, and what about Russian music? In Russia now we have lots of new and very interesting singers playing different kinds of music. Lots of Russian teenagers are listening to Russian singers, and it's very cool. So, what about you?
Go ahead. Is it Vanya? Is your name Vanya?
Excuse me. Yes, my name is Vanya. Excuse me, I have one question.
Sure.
Have you heard any Russian songs? Russian music. Interesting. Name.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Russian songs.
I listen to Russian music. I just don't know who the people are.
Can you describe what it was? Maybe he knows.
So who should we look up for a Russian musician on YouTube?
Okay. Oh, we could do that. We could play if you give us the name of a Russian musician, I will put it up on my screen and play it back to everyone, including, of course, in Lusaka. They can hear the Russian music. That would be cool.
And then I'd like to do the same for Africa.
And the same for Lusaka. Nice idea. So, first of all, in Vanya or any other students in St. Petersburg, tell me where I should go on YouTube right now. Because I want to play some Russian music, some cool Russian music. What should I do?
Gotta decide as a group.
Yeah. Let's hear this.
He might have been referring to Fresh or underground.
Okay. What should I enter into YouTube? YouTube. I want to play Russian music. What should I enter into YouTube? YouTube.
Actually, why don't we ask Ben?
Do you want a link on YouTube or what?
Yeah. Just tell me a link on YouTube.
Or a name.
A name.
Name of the song.
Or
The name of the song, yeah. Rasputin. Yeah, Rasputin. It's a song.
By Bartok from Disney.
Can we send you in the chat a message?
Okay, you can, but then I have from a student here a question. Could I play?
they might not like it.
I don't think they're gonna like
I don't
it.
know. Gonna like it. It's okay. Okay, while you're doing that, you can email it. You can email it to me. Please email it to me, and I will have it. And then we'll come at Lon Appleby LON. Can I put this? I could write it on a Word document, and then just a second. Let's try. We're getting very inventive today, but this is really fun. Okay, so Lon.Appleby Appleby at DurhamCollege.ca. Let me increase the size of this. Hold on. And then I'm going to... Okay, so can I share screen? Oh, it's up there. Okay, so let's look at this. And okay, I think it's too small. They can't see. It's probably, and I have to get it really big. Just a second. I will do that. Give me a second.
So that's their takeaway, homework.
There we go. So, does anyone want to say anything before we get the flow of this conversation going? Because I think there's a lot of stuff in there to pick at in terms of the beautiful music, but then also the content, the lyrics. So, anybody want to say anything?
I have a question.
Laura, go ahead.
For a lot of your...
Just make sure.
Yeah.
Come a little closer. That's a microphone there.
Would you say, I found the message stronger in that video than the first video? Sorry,
Go ahead.
I can talk. The message was a lot more powerful and clear in that video than in the other two videos that we just watched. Would you say that is something in your culture that people do a lot, is to make sure that when they're making music, that the message is also just as strong as the music itself?
I think, yeah. Is that all?
Yeah, that was a question. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I'm not showing because the camera is a little bit small. Yeah, so can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
So the message in the video was inspired by the guy and the girl, because most women in our country face a lot of gender-based violence. And in most cases, it's the women that suffer such. So that guy was trying to, put up a message to the men that they should stop abusing men, and of course, impacting GBV in the lives of women in our country. So that surely happens in our country. We have a lot of GBV cases.